Hello friends, we are back again to this class to begin our continued lesson about the dams, the multi-project dams. And we saw the dams are called multi-projects because it is used for different purposes. We said in the last class it is used for irrigation, it is used for preventing flooding, it is used for producing hydroelectric power, it is used for internal navigation and so on. And apart from all these benefits, we can say there are also bad elements or side effects are there, and that is what we are going to see today. Because of the dams, what are the wrong effects or the wrong results that are affected into the society, and because of that some people are made to suffer, and that's why a lot of resistance is there, lot of protest is there, because a section of the people, especially people who are living near the river basin, near the dam site, their land is affected, their house, their property, everything is affected, and that's why these people vehemently oppose construction of huge big dams. And first of all, these people do not receive any benefits, they only make a sacrifice for the benefit of others. That's why a lot of protest is there. So let us see in detail. We can take page number 26. You see the last paragraph of that page. Multi-purpose projects launched after independence with their integrated water resources management approach were thought as the vehicle that would lead the nation to development and progress, overcoming the handicap of its colonial past. You know, India was under colonial rule for hundreds of years, and when they left India was in a very bad shape, financially very bad. There was no development, no industry, no infrastructure, nothing was there. The British, they were only concerned about making themselves richer by exploiting India and the Indians. So as soon as India got freedom, the first thing that India government was aiming at was to bring development, to bring progress to the nation. And the way or the means they chose for that was to build dams. So to build dam and make the water available to the farmers. So first and foremost priority was given to production of food, because the first thing that people need is food. If without food they cannot work, without food they cannot do any other activity. So food was given the most important priority, and therefore government began to build dams, and the government was very confident or very happy over the construction of several dams across the river, because it will lead the nation to progress. That was the calculation of the government. And Nehru proudly proclaimed all these dams as the temples of modern India. We know temples are very important. It's a place of prayer and very important for every believer. In the same way, the Nehru wanted to give the same importance to these dams that are built in the country. Just as people take care of the temple, and Nehru wanted people also to take care of these dams, because they should be treated like temples for the people. It should be very close to their heart. And the reason being that it would integrate development of agriculture and the village economy with a rapid industrialization and growth of the urban economy. So they call it for temples of the modern India, because the calculation of the government was that it would integrate development of agriculture. These dams, it will help to develop the agriculture. Then if the agriculture is improved, people who are in the village, people who are in the rural area, they will be able to improve financially. Their financial conditions will be improved. Their economic status will be improved, will be changed, and accordingly the urban economy also will improve. So once the food grains are good or the cultivation is good, it is going to help the people of the rural area as well as people of the urban area. Therefore, it will integrate the all-round development of the country. That was the calculation of the government. Then, in recent years, multi-purpose projects and large dams have come under great scrutiny and opposition for a variety of reasons. So, in older times, or maybe after we got independence, that time it was okay. Now, after 70 years, the situation in India has changed. The population has increased so much, and we need a lot of land. And so when we make dam, a lot of land is submerged in the water, and the people lose their land, their cultivation, their house, their livestock, their property, and a lot of forest land also is submerged under the water. So because of that, there is a lot of protest is there, a lot of criticism is there, and different agencies say making of these dams is making the earth degrade the quality of the earth and so on. And regulating and damming of river affect their natural flow. So people who criticize this building of large huge dams, they give the reasons also. They are not just blindly criticizing, but they give their reason why they are criticizing the government for making dams, or why are they against making the dams. So first thing is, when we make a wall across the river, or when we build a dam across river, it is affecting the natural flow of the river. The river water is supposed to come and continue to flow in the same speed, but we make a wall and block it, and the speed of the river is affected. That is one thing. Then second thing is that because of that slow flow, the less speed of the water, the sediments that are coming, it is getting damped, getting remained inside the dam. It is not able to flow, continue to flow. It is the soil and the sediment supposed to flow along the water. Because we are blocking the river, all the sediments are getting coming and merged there, or it remains there, getting, we can say, accumulated there in the bottom of the dam. So slowly the depth of the dam will become less and less. And the other side of the dam, water is very low, very less, and so it is not able to carry the sediments. The flow is very slow, and it is not able to continue the flow. So we are changing the natural course of the river. That is one thing. So if, as we said, the sediments are coming and settling in the bottom of the dam, then what happens? It is also affecting the aquatic life in the dam. So in that river or in the dam, a lot of aquatic life will be there, fish and other type of animals that are living in the water. So their life will be affected because of all these sediments are accumulated there in the dam. That is not good for the health of this aquatic life. Then we also know that dams also fragment rivers, making it difficult for aquatic fauna to migrate. So when we make a dam across a river, we are fragmenting the river. Fragment means we are cutting the river or dividing the river. And so what happens? It is making difficult for aquatic fauna to migrate. So the fish and others, they migrate from one part of the river to the another part. Now we are making a huge wall, a huge dam there, and therefore these fish and other aquatic fauna, they cannot move. They can move only up to there. So they used to move to safe places in certain seasons, maybe for laying of eggs, for hatching out eggs and so on. So they used to move to safer places when the season comes. But because of this dam, we are even affecting the life of these animals in the water, the fauna in the water. So their normal life is affected. And the reservoirs that are created on the floodplains also submerge the existing vegetations. So as I already said, when we make dam at the floodplains, when the plain area, we build the dam and the water level will spread very far. And all that area, the vegetation will go under the water. All the trees that are growing in all that region will go under the water. So on the one side we are encouraging afforestation, and on the other side we are building dam and causing deforestation. So we are destroying the forest which we are supposed to protect and support. So that is another wrong effect of this building of huge dams. And also it is leading to decomposition over a period of time. So those vegetations will be surviving under the water for some time, but after some time what will happen? It will get rotten and it will completely go under the water. Then again, the multi-purpose projects and the dams, they also have been the cause of many new social movements. So as I said in the beginning, people are protesting against this building of huge dams. So there have been so many agitations were there, so many movements were there, and one famous one was Narmada Bachao Andolan. Narmada is the name of the river. So Narmada Bachao Andolan, Save Narmada movement. So people all came together, especially the affected people, they all came together and they started protesting. They started making complaints to save Narmada from being blocked or making down there. And resistance to these projects primarily being due to the large scale displacement of the local communities. So one of the main reasons why people have come together to protest against this building of dam in Narmada river is a large number of families or the local communities, they will be displaced because the dam will be built and the water level will be coming up and their land, their houses, their property, everything will go under the water. So they will have to move to the safer places. And where is the place to move? You know, the land is limited and there is no sufficient land in our country for accommodating the entire population, and therefore these people who will be affected by the building of this dam, who will be losing their houses and properties, where will they go? Government is not giving them another alternative safe place. Government is simply telling them vacate this place. So that way government is showing that they are not concerned about the lives of these people who are living near the river. They are only interested in making big dams and bringing development to help the people in the urban area and so on. And these poor people who are going to lose their land, their property, and they will become poorer and poorer. They will be struggling to survive, and some of them even may starve to death. So such kind of serious effects are there for these poor people. That's why they have determined to oppose this building of dams and protest against the movement that is of the government to build down there. Then sometimes these people are asked that they have to make a sacrifice. We want to build a dam here. Government will come and tell them, we want to make a dam here. So you have to leave your place. You have to give your place to the government. And you have to make a sacrifice for development of the nation. So you are all citizens of this country. Therefore you have to make a sacrifice. You have to go to some other place. So some people say we are ready to sacrifice for the development of our country. But they ask me, why only we have to sacrifice? Every citizen of the country has to sacrifice. But you are asking only us to sacrifice. That is not nice. That is injustice. That is why people have reacted very strongly against the plans of the government to build dam and so on. So just asking the poor people to make a sacrifice in order to help the rich people. So if the dam is built, mostly it is the rich people who are going to enjoy. The irrigation will be helpful for the large scale farmers, and it will be used for industries, for making electricity or for supplying water to the town and so on. So mostly it will be the urban people and the rich people who are going to benefit, and the poor people, they will be continue to suffer, and they will be ignored. Once they vacate their place and go to another place, government will not even bother to see how they are living there. Are they having enough food, enough land, or are they having enough facilities? Government will not bother. So these people have decided to oppose it, and it is a famous movement called Narmada Bachao Andolan. And it is a government organization, non-governmental organization. We call it NGO, non-governmental organizations. And this organization, they mobilized, they gathered all these tribal people who are going to be affected because of the dam, and made them to protest against that dam that is going to build across the Narmada river. And the name of the dam that the government is planning to build is Sardar Sarovar Dam. Sardar Sarovar Dam, that is going to be built over river Narmada. Then it originally focused on the environmental issues related to trees that would be submerged under dam water. So first, this movement highlighted the problems that are going to emerge after building of this dam. That means all the trees in the nearby place will be submerged in the water. So the trees are so precious, we cannot just allow these trees to be disintegrated and submerged in the water. So the organization made the people aware about the serious threat that is going to happen in their life and in their eco surroundings. And recently it was refocused the aim to enable poor citizens, especially the outcasts, that is the displaced people, to get full rehabilitation facilities from the government. So secondly, the movement also made the people aware that not only your land will be lost, not only the forest will be submerged in the water, but you will lose your house and you will lose your land. Therefore, you must demand from the government a rehabilitation place. You should be given a place, good place and good house for you to live in. So you must demand from the government that you should be given a good land for cultivation and good house too, and safe place also to live in. So people felt that their suffering would not be in vain. So these people, they are sitting and protesting day and night, and that is causing a lot of trouble for them. And the people believe that the troubles that they are undertaking, the difficulties that they are going through, it will not be in vain. So government will listen to their complaints and solve their problems. That is the hope of these people. And so they accepted the trauma of displacement, believing in the promise of irrigated fields and plentiful harvests. So what did the government tell the people? We are going to give you another area, we are going to give you a good field, and using this water from the dam, you will be able to better harvest. All these are promises of the government, and God alone knows whether this will be fulfilled or not. Governments will come and go, officers will come and go, and these poor people will be ignored and they will be suffering the rest of their life. So often the survivors of Rehan told us that they accepted their sufferings as sacrifice for the sake of their nation. So the people who accepted, ready to give their land for the development of the nation, so they accepted that suffering, losing of their property, their house, and so for the betterment of the nation. But now after 30 bitter years of being agreed, their livelihood having even been more precarious, they keep asking, are we only the ones chosen to make sacrifices for the nation? So people have been protesting against this for more than 30 years, and the promises of the government has not been fulfilled, and the government goes on ignoring them. And so these people, they believe that the sacrifices that they have made will certainly benefit them in the future and the future generations. Yet in their heart, that the sorrowful thing is that there are so many people are there in the country, but only these poor people are made to asked to make sacrifice for the development of the nation. That is a great injustice. So yet they, out of their love for the nation, out of their goodwill to make sacrifices for the nation, they have accepted it. Yet they are still waiting for justice from the government. Their life has become very hard, and even the livelihood, the daily food they require, it has become very little. They are not even having sufficient food. So people who made such a great sacrifice for the nation, they are ignored and they are made to starve. They are made to suffer every day of their life. That is a great injustice that the government is doing towards these people. That's why such movements are there. Whenever government is planning in the name of development, building dams or making industry, everything, people immediately come up to protest, because they know government is not going to fulfill their promises. They will fulfill only initially, but in the course of time, these people will be made to suffer and so on. So let us be concerned about every citizen of our country, our fellow citizens of our country, that for our benefit, there are so many other people making great sacrifices. So we should have great love for them, and we should remember that when the turn comes, we also should be willing to make sacrifices for the development of the nation. We should not only just receive, but we also should be willing to give. Otherwise, one section of our countrymen will be suffering, another section of the countrymen will be prospering and enjoying their life. So, such a kind of the poor and the rich, such kind of distinctions or divisions should not be there in our society. So we also expect the government to fulfill their promises and do for the upliftment of these poor people, affected people, and make them to live in a very comfortable way, in a secure way, so that the development, the effects of the development will reach them also. So we continue the next class again, and thanks for listening. Have a nice day.